Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mike from Cichlids. So Will and I have been in the hobby for just under 3 years now, and this time last year, we put out a fish room tour capturing all the aquariums that we had at the time. Since then, some of our fish have grown, moved between houses, or unfortunately, passed away. These are all things that come with the hobby, but also opportunities for us to change both the aquascapes and the stockings in our aquariums in hopes to find the perfect setup. With so much changing in the fish room on almost a monthly basis, Will and I decided to put together a two-part series capturing all of our aquariums in their current state, with some of the lessons we've learned along the way. In today's video, we're going to head over to Will's so he can take us through all of his setups and what's to come in the future. We hope that you enjoy today's video.
How's everybody doing? This is Will from Cichlids, and today is a special day for us. It marks 1 year since our last time we did our full, complete update of all our fish tanks between two houses. We are now up to 27 tanks between both houses and probably up to 200 fish. So let's get to it. So we're gonna start right here with our 250-gallon tank. Last time you saw this tank, I probably had 10 or 12 fish in here with my big Oscar and some other fish that we decided to move out. So since then, my Oscar just passed away literally yesterday. I had the fish for 8 years, so it's probably by this time. Hated to see it go. Had second thoughts about staying in the hobby since my Oscar is what got me into it, but you know, I've grown to love it, so we're gonna continue on. We've also lost both Salvinis. They actually mated. We put them in another tank, they mated. The male ended up killing the female, and then when I put the male back over here, my Cuban took him out. One thing I did learn from it is that when they do mate, we need to separate them and keep them separate until their mating time has died off and their aggression has went back away. But lesson learned, as we know in this hobby, we grow and we learn. So we're gonna move on over to the Mbuna tank. Nothing's really changed in this tank except by natural selection. The quantity has dwindled down by natural selection. You know, only the strong survive. But it's one of those things we knew would possibly happen, and we was willing to take that risk. But overall, the fish is healthy. The tank is thriving, good beneficial bacteria, and all the water parameters are staying where they need to stay. I literally just did a fish filter cleaning today after about 1 year and 2 months, and I was surprised at how clean it's staying by keeping our tanks over filtered. So that's one of the things we'll always do with all of our tanks. So our newest tank that we've had added so far is this 150. This is actually the same tank that's been here, but before, a year ago, this housed haps and peacocks. We ended up deciding that Mike's 210 was the better of the two tanks, so we wanted to go a different direction and try something new here. We went with tried to go with a more of an aggressive tank. We got some Red Devils, Midas, Mesohera Sonatas, and today I added 2 Jack Dempseys, a male and a female, and we added my Cuban cichlid that's somewhere up in the corner somewhere, but he's still getting acclimated to the tank. But this tank is doing great. We have some ideas of some changes we're gonna make with the decor. Probably gonna change out the driftwood, just bring it down a little more to open up more swim space, and also the more swim space they have, the better off it is for them to be able to grow and everything. So we'll see how that goes. Now we're gonna move over to the 150-gallon South American tank. This tank, when I found this centerpiece up in Ohio, I had to have it, and my father-in-law brought it back for me since I flew back down here. And once I've added it, I think personally for me, I think it complements this tank very well. The fish have loved it. They got a little area to hide behind, but also they still have plenty of swim space, which is what we was going for. With the True Parrot Severums, we had 2 more Severums that were in here. They were showing mating behavior, so we decided to move them out today, put them in a 75 that you'll see very shortly, and hopefully we have some spawn come out of that. So, but overall, I'm happy, 100% happy with this tank, and I don't think I'm gonna change anything or add any more fish. Now we're gonna continue on and move over into the new quarantine room / grow out. So this room has a 20-gallon quarantine tank, has my yellow jacket in it right now, and this is only temporary. because we're still moving fish around. So the yellow jacket will be going to a 40-gallon breeder just to continue to grow out and everything. But this is holding tank just for the night. And then also in this 155-gallon, we have a black belt. I think it's a female, just haven't properly sexed it yet. But we're gonna put it over in the 250 today to see how it does with the other black belt that's in there. And if all else fails, it will get moved to Mike's house. He has a 125 Central American tank that we can possibly add it to. But what's to come for this room is I'm actually gonna end up moving this 20-gallon over into the corner and dropping another 55 in here from upstairs that currently has about 200 Salvini babies that we're gonna split between the two tanks once we figure out what we're gonna do with the black belt. Once we get her settled, then we're gonna remove the substrate from both 55s, put it in here, and let them be the grow out for those Salvini babies until we get them to a good size to either sell or give away or take them to the local fish store. And then now we're gonna move down the hallway. So in here we have our 125-gallon lake tank and Nikin tank. This tank is probably been in a great conversation about going back and forth, changing it, getting rid of it. But the more I wait, and I just can't get rid of the front toes are actually growing out. I have two of them that's starting to get their nuchal humps, and they're just getting so much activity in this tank that it's hard to get rid of it. And it also fills the void that we have a Lake Tanganyika tank, a Lake Malawi, and also the Happy Peacocks tank. So we're covering all the areas for the African cichlid, and it's one of the things we wanted to do, the goal we had. So I'm glad Mike talked me off the ledge and we decided to keep this tank. So now we're gonna move around to the two 40-gallon breeders. So right now in this first 40-gallon breeder, we have a male beanie cichlid that we were able to find from a breeder. He actually sent us a breeding pair. We had a male and a female. We put the female in there and he was just a little too aggressive, and he actually took her out last night. But it was one of those things, it happened while I was asleep, so I didn't have a chance to move her. Had I been awake, I would have moved her so that way it wouldn't have happened. But once again, I'll say this is lessons that we're learning as we grow in this hobby. The other 40-gallon breeder, it currently has a female blue umbi that will be going to Mike's house so that it can grow out properly and just get a little more water quality, water volume, a tank that it can go into and grow out. And this will soon be the home for the yellow jacket cichlid. And now we're gonna go around to the newest tanks in the house, my newest tanks. And this is two 75 gallons, and we built a stand to accommodate both 75 gallons on one stand. Since it was hard to find one and I couldn't find two like stands that I liked, so I said, hey, you know what, I'll just build one. And it turned out pretty good. So in this first one, 75 gallon, this is where we just moved the two Severums to right now. They were showing the breeding behavior, so we wanted to give them their own isolated place with some flat rock and minimal decoration in there so they can actually get comfortable and hopefully breed as we hope that will happen. In this other 75 gallon tank over here, trying to find it, my blue umbi. I have a male blue umbi that we hope to get to a point where we can make the male and the female together, but he's hiding up under the driftwood over here. He was actually hiding up in the corners a lot, put the driftwood in and it brought him down. Now he actually swims around and he just rests and chills up under the actual driftwood. And I added a couple of flat rocks in there. The rocks right now are holding the driftwood because it's still getting the waterlogged so it can actually stay down because it's brand new. So it's been in there 2 days, but we'll watch it and see how that goes. But I'm liking the fact that the fish is actually moving around more and more active now. So that's it for down here in the basement. We're gonna move upstairs and look at the final two tanks. So here, I don't even remember if a year ago we had this tank in. No, we didn't have this tank in here a year ago.
That was about 6
So
months.
this is actually a new addition about 6 months ago. My wife gave the final approval that I could cut into this wall and put a tank here. So it was always a big project that I wanted to do, but of course I gotta have the blessing of the boss. So we got that. The tank is a 75 gallon. It's a community tank. We have some angel fish in here, some tiger barbs, some rosebaras, and some more community fish in there. I can't remember the names of every single one right now, but we just went minimal with this. You know, some fake plants in here with one piece of driftwood in the middle. Give them a lot of good open space so they can swim around and move freely. This tank is filtered by Fluval 407, and it's been doing great. With it being in a closet on the other side, we can close the door. We don't have to worry about any noise, don't hear anything, and it's just a good focal point when you walk in the house. And now in here to the office, this was my office tank that I was using mostly as a lot of grow out for different fish, but these are the Salvini babies. They're about, I think 150 to 200 in there total. So what our plan is, we're gonna take this tank, I'm gonna move it down into my gym and make that my quarantine area. We're gonna put this with the other 55, remove all the substrate out of both tanks, keep a clear but clean bottom, and we're gonna split the fish up between the two tanks so they can have basically they'll grow better with not having overcrowding too many in one tank. So we actually originally didn't expect this many to survive, but they did, thankfully. So, but also this goes to show if you keep good filtration, keep your water changed regularly, that you can actually possibly get maximum results from a batch of babies, versus unlike what it used to happen to me before. The fish would have babies and only 3 or 4 would survive because I was scared to change the water and all, because I didn't want to interrupt anything. But I finally got over that fear, and these are the results of getting past that. So as you can see, I've had a lot of changes in my house with some more to come, but we just wanted to give a 1-year update, and hopefully you've liked everything you see.
And make sure to tune in to our next video over at Mike's to see all the changes he's made and is planning on making in the future. If you have any thoughts or stocking ideas you'd like to see in any of our aquariums, please leave them in the comment section, as we appreciate any and all feedback. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and until next time, be safe.